time. It's time. It's time. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy. Yeah. 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 It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time.
How the fuck you got me up this damn early, Jason?
It's time.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Commissioner Cooper, and it's time for TSS Fantasy.
Yeah!
It is, we got the gold up tonight. Believe it or not, it is our 50th episode. Wow, at least I know it's my 50th episode anyway. So congratulations, guys. I appreciate it, and we appreciate you, TSS family, for keeping us going. All right, we got a busy show tonight. A lot to talk about after a busy week. So let's start with our introductions. Nick, you got Flandered Macaronis.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You could have chosen any fantasy football podcast in the world, but again, you have chose TSS Fantasy, the number one most comprehensive. And speaking of number one and most comprehensive, if you want the number one fantasy football apparel, you need to go to tssfantasy.com, click on the merchandise link, and it'll take you to bonfire.com, and you can check out our wonderful array of t-shirts, long sleeve, tank top, short sleeve. We got you covered for all seasons. And again, if we don't got it, you don't need it.
Check, baby. 1, 2. I got you. Absolutely. Let's welcome to the studio, Greg, OJ, the Juice is Loose, Mayor.
This may not be my 50th episode, but I've been on every show in spirit. I've given moral support.
High spirits, always, indeed. I do
TSS
appreciate it.
is a family, and we did it together. I don't care what Jason says. But all jokes aside, follow me on Twitter, Big OJ1, and on Instagram, Craig_OJ. I'll keep you up to date with a lot of breaking news on my Twitter, injuries, COVID cases. Just keep a lookout on my Twitter. And look who joined us now.
Yes.
TSS Jester, baby.
Never. Always late to the party, but always the party. Fred, the Jester Reyes, welcome to the studio.
Yes, sir. I am here. Where is Mike?
The guy that we changed.
I could have been doing this a half an hour earlier.
Right.
All right.
This is back for him, and he's not even here. This is
all right. Well, listen, the TSS family does not care.
Look at my eyes. Look how puffy they look. I'm so
We
tired.
know who 50th showed it isn't.
Go get some cucumbers, Freddie. Freddie, go get some cucumbers.
I'm a half to. I'm looking puffy.
Look who tonight's sponsored by.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Got the girly drinks going on tonight. It might be a little spicy in the studio.
Oh, this sucker broke a 76-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah, actually, before, all right, I got to get to my introductions, but before we do that, before we start and I get in my thing, just really quick, we got to just say it really quick.
Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way.
Derrick Henry, a sit for Mr. Jester Reyes, bro.
Dumbass. Dang these. They call me dumbass. Black guy need a stupid.
Oh, that man is, other than the 76-yard run, he got 7 rushes for 14 yards.
All
He
right.
got one lucky one, bro.
All
Like,
I'm going to say is, in the Dynasty League, I think I got him 5th.
Yeah, nice. All right. So again, no one cares about our personal leagues. TSS family, don't forget, visit us at tssfantasy.com. All our updated rankings. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before I get into it, he was late, of course, but at least he's here. Let's welcome to the studio for it's the 50th, Mike the Straw Hernandez. Thank you for making it, sir.
What's happening? Sorry I'm late, y'all. What's going on?
oh, we were gonna be like, bruh.
Was that the 50th time that he's been late?
Nah, I'm here. I'm here.
Hey,
what are we talking about?
He has a long drive home from his work, so it's totally understandable. So we'll work with it. All right. So again, TSSFantasy.com, all of our updated rankings for next week, not updated yet. By the way, real quick, breaking news, Ryan Tannehill just rushed one in for a touchdown on Monday Night Football, so we can get that one out of the way. Some 6 points for Tanny. All our updated rankings. Anything you need from TSS Fantasy is there, so visit there. Also, you can visit our website to get where Nick was talking about on Bonfire and to go to our store, check out all of our merchandise there. Don't forget to visit the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network, wrestling, racing, baseball, got it all for you. Check out all the great podcasts, and you can also check them out on Unhinged Radio. It's a 24/7 radio network. We are on from 7 to 8 a.m., 8 to 9 a.m. every morning. Make us part of your morning commute. We are the fantasy show of the people. As I mentioned, 50th episode. I can't believe it. Crazy stuff. Let's talk about some news and notes real quick from this week. Christian McCaffrey, Chris Carson, Russell Wilson, all placed on the IR.
Wow.
Don't forget Kareem Hunt.
Kareem.
Oh,
we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, we gotta build up. We got to build up a little bit. All right. So those guys placed on the IR, big impacts. We saw what Alex Collins could do. Had a decent night. He also was injured, though. I believe it was hip and a glute injury for Alex Collins. So we'll see what goes on to next week. This was something that was a concern for every Chris Carson owner. I mean, we'll get on to the other guys real quick in a minute. Just wanted to touch on Chris Carson. Prior to the season, I mean, this guy is an injury-prone running back. We talked about it. And then every season it seems like it becomes this big platoon there for at some point. So it's interesting how the impact. Now, don't forget also Rashad Penny coming back. I put him on our waiver wires here. We'll get to talking about that in a minute. But anyway, let's talk about the impact with Chris Carson real quick. Is there anyone you guys are looking to pick up right there? Or is there anyone you favor in that backfield going forward? Nick, what do you think?
Not really. I would pick up maybe DJ Dallas. I like him, but I'm not really familiar with the Seahawks backfield. So again, I just know Chris Carson, who you just said, who basically just broke his ass because he injured his glute. And no, you're not going to hit the dumbass on me.
Yes,
no, you're not. And I know Rashad Penny.
Can I? You're on a fantasy football show. Football. Your job is to know football. Is to know the roster. And you sit here and you say, "I don't really know Seattle's backfield."
Thank you.
Dumbass. Dang these. They call me dumbass. Black guy need a thing. Stupid.
Well, I'm not going to pick up Travis Homer.
Jason.
Collins. I do Collins.
Nick's going to pick up everybody. Pick them all up. We're good to go.
No, I said no Homer.
Greg, who you got at their backfield?
Well, we do know that Alex Collins is the primary backup to Chris Carson. So if he's still available in your league, pick up Alex Collins. He ran strong last night. He looked powerful last night. He looked like he will take over this backfield until Chris Carson comes back. And if he continues to look this good, what does this mean for Chris Carson? Will it be a platoon? Because there's no Geno Smith. They're going to run the ball more. They showed it last night. On that drive for the touchdown, they ran the ball about 90% of the time. So, Alex Collins.
I think it'll be interesting more to hear about Chris Carson's injury first because of where it is, Mike, in the neck area. Yeah. It's interesting to see how far or how bad it is. It might be something he might not play at all anymore. I talked about that before. Those are those types of injuries. You don't want to further damage that because that could paralyze you at some point. Mike, I want to talk to you real quick since I know that you know about this. The impact of Russell Wilson. him going on the IR. I know for a fact that you know about the impact of that. So talk about that and its impact to the Seattle offense.
Right. So I think Russell Wilson is the engine that actually forces the ball downfield. I think that's clear to say after last night's performance. So there wasn't anything available in the passing game consistently. Metcalf didn't do much, neither did Lockett. And to touch on the running back situation, I mean, you're talking about a platoon on an offense that what are they going to do until Russell Wilson comes back anyway? Collins isn't picked up in your league by now. I mean, don't worry about listening to us because you got things unlocked anyway. So regardless, just stay away from anything Seattle until Russell Wilson comes back is the easiest advice I can give you.
Sounds like sound advice, at least for sure.
Jason,
Christian, yes, sir.
Alex Collins is only owned in 50% of leagues, so he's still out there in other leagues. Hernandez, he's still there. So if he's available in your league, I will pick him up. Geno Smith is not the answer. You just said that. They're going to rely heavily on the run.
Right, but I'm saying, how long has Carson been nagging with these injuries?
Yeah, but Alex Collins in standard leagues
got to be picked up.
He had 16 points last night. 16 points on a shitty offense, right? So they ran the ball. He ran the ball. Let's see how many times he ran the ball. Let me just look it up for you. I want to look it up for you. But I think he ran the ball 20 times for 100 yards. You can yawn all you want.
What?
Because you're wrong.
No, man. I just got out of work, man.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
Long drive, right.
So,
long drive. We know. Long drive.
So, Fred, moving on to Christian McCaffrey and his impact on the IR. I know it sounds like you're typing over there like you're in a 70s news shop. What's going on? I don't know.
I'm over here looking at
the
something.
telegram.
I'm paying attention to this Bills-Titans game, and I am a hockey fan, so watching the Rangers at the same time. You know?
Nice. All right. Well, you are on now with TSS Fantasy.
Yeah,
Why don't we
McCaffrey.
give us some analysis on McCaffrey?
McCaffrey is he's a bum now. He's always hurt. I said it at the beginning of the year. I said it when we started TSS. I told him nobody picked this guy. He's not going to be reliable. Some people laughed at me. Some people agreed at me. Who is laughing now?
Yeah,
now, and Chuba, my dumb self, dropped Chuba Hubbard when I purposely went and got him in a couple of my drafts for this reason. And I believe I must have had a homer vision and stuck with Tevin Coleman. So Tevin Coleman, that's fucking fabulous. But whatever. I'm sorry for cursing people, TSS Jester. But yeah, analysis is it's gonna hurt more than it's gonna help the Panthers. So Sam Darnold's in trouble.
Indeed. All right. So moving on, we talked about real quick with Kareem Hunt. I know you touched on it. Calf strain. I immediately, when you saw it, did not look good. Didn't like you put any pressure on it. I immediately thought it was a Achilles injury, but unfortunately, thankfully, it sounds like from Ian Rappaport, it's only a strain in 3 to 4 weeks for that.
Wow.
So, Nick, do you have something to say on that?
No, I was trying to signal one of our co-hosts to do something that we told him to do many times. No. Thank you.
Oh, the TV.
Screensavers. The screensavers.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Relax.
Thank you, Nick. Good call. Good call, Nick. All right. Anyway, so impact. Greg, we'll go to you. Nick's a little distracted. It's cool. I'll come back to you. Impact for Kareem Hunt being out and possibly maybe no Nick Chubb coming up this week. So what are your thoughts on that?
Stay away from Cleveland. It's you don't know. Listen, that offense is built around those two running backs. It's built around Nick Chubb and it's built around Kareem Hunt. Now, your two main cogs are gone. Do you trust Baker Mayfield? I don't.
No.
Yeah, but Dearness Johnson becomes an interesting pickup if Chubb doesn't go, because he plays the Chubb role. So if Chubb doesn't go, I mean, he could be a big pickup in an offense that's already predicated on the run and a hurt Baker Mayfield at that.
I don't trust nothing. Not even like it's nothing. Listen, there's nothing sexy in Cleveland right now.
There isn't. There is not. Even Odell's hurt. There's nothing in Cleveland, man. I totally agree. They weren't even talking about how much to give Baker an extension because he's not as valuable as half the quarterbacks in the league. It's a damn shame.
But Freddie, like if like what's out there for them to get?
They were talking about Aaron Rodgers being let go next year. Deshaun Watson.
He will not. Aaron Rodgers would never ever go to Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going anywhere, to be honest. But anyway, let's move on. We talked about Baker Mayfield just now. He was hurt in the game, but it looks like he's going to still be able to go next week. He said he is going to give it a go. Dak Prescott also hurt in the game, said he could have played through it. So, and he already put up huge numbers during the game, so no big deal there. I talked about Alex Collins earlier. Who knows? He might be a go, but so right now, just up in the air for him. Kadarius Toney, I don't know if you guys caught the Giants game, but he was playing very well. And looked like it could be a good game again, and then hurt his ankle. So unfortunately, he's going to be out maybe. And then Antonio Gibson, I mean, he's been a focus of our talks a few times. Hurt shin. We all are a little afraid that what is this guy doing? Now he hurt his shin during the game, came back in, and now he hurt his calf as well. So there's two designations there. So, it looks like it's going to be rest for Antonio Gibson. So J.D. Mckissick, if you already own him, great. But who knows? Is it going to be the J.D. Mckissick show, or is he going to play just a still that secondary role, and they're going to have the other back, which I didn't write his damn name down, and I can't remember his name at the moment. Run as the primary.
You're the host of a fantasy football. You
would have done that. You would have done that.
All right.
Dumbass. Thank these. They call me dumbass. Play kind nigga. Stupid.
got it.
Gotta be fair. All right.
Jason.
Yes, sir.
Just to let you know, his name is Jared Patterson.
Thank you. That's the guy you might want to look out. You might want to look out for. So just in case they might run it that way. We'll see. Latavius Murray, ankle. I know some people were kind of high on him, but just didn't work out. T.Y. Hilton came in, quad injury.
Oh, boy, he looked so good that game, bro.
He did, though, but he looked like he was back again, but it was a Houston's defense, or who knows what it was. By the way, Cole Beasley, a 29-yard reception now from Josh Allen, touchdown Buffalo. They're going to be up 20-17, 40 seconds left in the second quarter. All right, we're going to take a quick break real quick. We'll come back and we're going to go over our big leaders for this week. So we'll be right back when I pull the damn commercial up.
That's the right.
Hey guys, it's Mitch Lopez, your local Farmers Insurance agent. As hurricane season approaches, is your homeowner's insurance going to make the cut? Are they charging you more for your renewal, or even worse, canceling you? If so, I think it's time to put your insurance company on the bench and make Mitch Lopez Farmers Insurance your number one pick for all of your insurance needs. You can reach me at 407-603-7366, or you can follow me on Facebook at Farmers Insurance, Mitch Lopez, IG, Mitch Lopez _ Farmers Agency, or you can check my website at Farmers Insurance Mitchell Lopez Jr.
All right, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Actually, let's go into the waiver wire. We always end up rushing through this, and I think it's actually really important we talk about it this week in particular because of we're having all these bye weeks, injuries, and such. So let's talk about this real quick as far as the waiver wire is concerned. So for quarterbacks, now I'm just gonna go through position. You guys can chime in on the people as you like. I put Tua up, and I actually had picked him up in one league because I like the matchup coming up this week. They're playing at home versus the Falcons. So I like Tua as a waiver wire target, somebody to stream this week. And again, a lot of people on a bye this week. And again, we've had some injuries. So it's just somebody to stream. Nick, I'll go to you for quarterback. Who do you got for your streamer this week?
I'd say you got to go with Carson Wentz this week. He's going to get you 23 to 24 points a game. He's solid. Is he electric? No. But what he doesn't do is he doesn't throw the ball to the other team. He's only got one pick on the year. The only thing that's hurting Carson Wentz right now is number one, Jonathan Taylor, because they run the ball and they run it very well. And the defense always puts them in short field position, and he doesn't really have to do long drives. But if you're in a pinch, your quarterback is either injured or on a bye, stream Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I was going to say Carson Wentz looks back. I mean, he's playing well, seeing the field well. And again, I actually think one could also argue that Jonathan Taylor actually is helping him by, not allowing them to just sit back. They got to be ready for that running game. Jonathan Taylor's bringing it this year, so he's been money. And we'll talk about him later for sure. Greg, you got anybody on the QB waiver wire you're looking at?
Somebody you don't have listed, but he's only owned in 47% of leagues, and that's David Carr. I'm still surprised that he's not owned in a lot more leagues.
Yeah.
He's averaging over 20 points a game as a starter. So I'm surprised he's not owned in more leagues. And a lot, like you said, a lot of bye weeks are coming up. So it's going to be slim pickings for quarterbacks. And I think David Carr, you saw him this week. He looked good, man. He got Waller, he got Ruggs, he has Renfro. He has a lot of sneaky little weapons on that team. So I think David Carr would be a good pickup.
Yeah, I didn't put him on here. Actually, I assumed people had him on their roster, or at least as a backup somewhere. So yeah, that's why. Good call there, Mike. Anyone on the waiver wire QB wise you're looking at? Or did it was Carr, Greg stole yours?
Yeah, Greg got to go ahead and always just steal the thunder, try to replicate, try to duplicate. It's all good, bro. You get it. It's fine.
Hey, listen, Mike, you should talk about Kirk Cousins because he's only rostered in 45%. Talk about Kirk Cousins.
Nick is telling me who to talk about.
Okay. Thanks, Nick. So I'm going to go with Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence is going to be on a bye this week, he's going to be on a bye this week. He ain't playing. But when he comes back, he is going to be going against that Philly defense.
Jason, hit it.
Trevor Lawrence is coming back.
I think he wants it.
Thank these. They call me dumbass. Play kind, stupid.
I think he just wanted that. I think he was just wanting that. Setting up for it.
That was a setup because Nick told him to talk about Kirk Cousins, who's also on a bye.
Yes, I just realized that.
And then and then he said Jacksonville, who's on a bye.
Dumbass. Thank these. They call me dumbass. Play kind, stupid.
Okay, are the Colts on a bye?
No.
They pick up Carson Wentz.
All right, Fred, who you got? You got anybody this week?
Yeah, yes, I do. Teddy Bridgewater. He's going against Cleveland on Thursday Night Football. No, check it out. I know he had a bad game last week, but that's not his normal style of play. I know he had the 3 interceptions and the fumble. He does not normally play like that. Cleveland's hurting right now. The ends are hurting. Nobody's there. Pick up Teddy Bridgewater for Thursday Night Football.
Oh, wow. That's
I'm talking
big.
about, Freddie. You bought the heat.
That was big. That was big. Justin, I threw up there also Justin Fields. He is playing the Bucks, so their secondary isn't all that great. So might still be a decent matchup for him. Like I said, the Bucks D is not very good in the secondary. And Taylor Heineke too. I know he laid an egg, and the Packers the Packers D is pretty decent, but they're going to have to throw the ball to keep up with Aaron Rodgers, I'm assuming. So I would still keep an eye out to stream Taylor Heineke this week as well. All right, let's go on to the running backs. All right, so J.D. Mckissick obviously would be the hot commodity with Antonio Gibson going down for we don't know for how long. So, Nick, you want to talk the impact of J.D. Mckissick?
Yeah, he's not much of a runner per se, but he's more of the receiver out of the backfield. I was fortunate enough to pick him up in a trade by someone who was generous in our league to help me out. So I'm appreciative of that one. I'm not going to mention any names, but he knows whose he is. But he is a good one to pick up. He will be their workhorse, and I believe that Jared Patterson will be the McKissick role as Gibson was.
Oh, so you think it's going to be opposite? I totally disagree because they are totally different backs. Greg, you got anybody on the running back waiver wire you're looking at? You can just say pass. So we'll just move on. There's nobody you got will pass.
I'm just going to wait. Gosh.
No, you're good. I was just saying.
Listen, it's slim pickings out there. So
Boy, it is, man.
if you don't have your handcuff or something, it's real slim pickings. So I mean, I got Evans from the Bengals. You got Le'Veon Bell. I mean, it's.
Go ahead, Greg. Just name them all. Go ahead. Come on. 4 more. Give me 4 more. Let's go.
No,
Get
Mike,
to the top 10.
Mike,
Come on. Go ahead.
Mike, you know what? Since I stole your shine, go ahead and speak, sir.
All right, Mike. Who you got? Who you got this week for your running back?
Well,
Rashad Penny?
as a Murray owner, Latavius Murray owner, I'm going to go ahead and speak to the Baltimore Ravens backfield and Devontae Freeman in particular. Looked good on a different role during that game. Like he was out there getting a lot of those screens and on the outside of the tackles type of run. So if I'm picking any of the Ravens running backs, I'm going to take Devontae Freeman. And they're playing against Cincinnati. That's not a good matchup, but I would go with Freeman if any.
Fred, who you got for your running back?
It was Freeman, so I'm looking around at somebody else.
Slim.
That's slim pickings, but
Go ahead, Nick. Tell him who's on the bye.
You know who actually did pretty good that Nick used to always bring up was Ramondre Stevenson. Yeah, I mean he actually carried the ball a few times, not overly a lot, but he also caught a few passes out the backfield. So if maybe Belichick uses him a little bit more, we'll see. And he is playing the Jets, so slim pickings. Why not give him a shot?
The Jets are terrible against the run.
That is not true, sir. It's the pass terrible against.
That is not true, Nick.
Right, that's key. They are correct on that. All right. Also, don't forget I mentioned him earlier. Dearness Johnson. If Chubb is gone, that's the guy to go for in the Cleveland backfield. I mean, if you don't go for a starting running back, there's something wrong with you. Got to go. And again, if we get confirmation of Chubb being gone tomorrow, I would definitely be my number one target. Would be him. Receivers. We got Deontay Peoples-Jones. I forgot if that's his first name. I just got a D there. I don't know if you guys witnessed this game, but I don't know if you saw the Hail Mary that was thrown to him. It was pretty funny because I'm sitting here, I had it in the corner somewhere, and I'll be like, did that just actually happen? It was like a replay. It was such poor defense. I mean, I've never seen just poor defense on a Hail Mary than I seen at that moment. However, he still caught a couple more from Baker. So, I don't know. With OBJ hurt and pretty much non-existent, they did seem to go with him a little. I actually did have the sound on for that, and the crowd was chanting for him. I was actually really shocked to hear it. Everyone was shouting, OBJ. They want to see him make plays there, so I'm not sure why they're not feeding him. But now he's hurt. This could be a guy to target for receivers. All right, I'm afraid to ask anybody, but Nick, we'll go to you. Any receivers you're looking at on the waiver wire?
I'm going to bring up somebody that, Jason, that you may be somewhat familiar with.
Yes.
There's a guy down there in Miami called Jalen Waddle.
On a bye.
No, he's not.
He
plays Atlanta next week.
Oh, shit.
Yes. And I don't know. Jalen Waddle should not be on the waiver wire.
Not our best performance, fellas. Not our best performance.
Jalen Waddle should not be on the waiver wire, sir.
Anyway, I noticed his big numbers come when Tua was playing, and he didn't have big numbers when Jacoby was playing. And last week he had a resurgence over there across the pond. So they are playing Atlanta. They have a very porous pass defense. So if you are in a pinch, as one of our esteemed co-hosts does say, I would pick up Jalen Waddle.
All right, I'm going to repeat what I just said. There is no way in hell Jalen Waddle is on anyone's waiver wire. I'm just going to let you know right now.
Why not?
He is in our league.
He's in our league.
He is what?
Yes,
our league is.
that's where I'm getting it from.
Not after this week.
He's
Guarantee you that.
He's owned in 75% of the leagues.
I mean, okay, thank you. I mean, I just didn't think it'd be somebody to highlight. I mean, I think that was kind of obvious. And that was a big play because there was no Parker. There was a lot of receivers out. So he was a big play last week. If you watch Wake Up with TSS Fantasy, you would have known to put him in your starting lineup. All right. Also, Greg, anyone for you on the receivers?
I mean, what's after those two?
Well, this guy, it's funny because Nick chimed in the St. Brown I think he's from the Lions. So why don't let's go ahead, Nick. I'm gonna go to you. Go ahead and let's hear this analysis.
I was gonna say DeMarcus Robinson from Kansas City, but because Tyreek Hill, he's still dealing with the quad injury. Kelsey had a hand injury. So we don't know how long those two are going to be lingering with those injuries. And DeMarcus Robinson had a decent game last week. Pat Mahomes looked like Pat Mahomes. So they're not passing to the running back as much. Darrell Williams is just a runner. So Kelsey, hurt, Tyreek, lingering injury. DeMarcus may pick up those extra targets.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah. McCall Harmon actually has been targeted a lot, but he's just kind of is what he is. He's not, a big, he's just not going to.
I just want to know what happened to Josh Gordon, though.
He's been out for a while.
But get on the field.
I feel you. All right.
What about Darnell Mooney? Darnell Mooney still needs to get some love. He's got 2 games over double digits, and he's got a nice, favorable schedule. He's got to play the Bucks, what were the other teams? The Niners and the Steelers. So the next 3 games. So those are all super friendly matchups.
You know what? And I want to agree with Mike because he gets enough targets per game. I'm looking at his stats. He gets 7, 8, 4, 7, 5, 8. So they throw the ball to Mooney.
They do.
So it's just about him catching the ball and producing with it, but he gets his targets.
Yeah, it's him. It's when Justin Fields came in, really made the difference for him. He's really been able to thrive from Justin Fields. So yeah, like I said, I like Justin Fields this week coming up against the Bucks, and who's going to benefit from that, like you said, is going to be Darnell Mooney, unless for some reason Allen Robinson decides to show up and play. I mean, he dropped a lot of balls actually. I saw this past week, so I don't know. The excuses seem to be up as far as I'm concerned. Michael Gallup's coming back. Just something to note for if you don't have him, he might be somebody to look out for as well on the waiver wire. Ricky Seals-Jones, if he's not owned, going to tight ends. Greg listen to TSS Fantasy because he owns him. So he's a big pickup to have. Mentioned it. They love the tight ends. They showed it to you this week. So big pickup. If he's not picked up already, make sure you do pick him up. I'm going to have Mike talk about the next tight end real quick because it is the big
T.Y. Hilton.
It was I already mentioned T.Y. and we talked about it. And he just got hurt, so I was like, "There's no hurt."
He's day to day, man. He's day to day.
Right.
Pick him up.
I know you should pick him up. He had a decent week, so I do agree. But I wouldn't pick him up. He wouldn't be my main target this week. There's a lot of other guys I'd go after. Tight end wise, Mike, you called it. The start for you, the big show, Mo Ali Cox. Talk about him as a waiver wire target this week.
Yeah, slowly, Mo Ali Cox. He's been able to put together a couple of good games over the last 3 games. He's not doing crazy numbers, but he's slowly getting better under this offense. I think Jonathan Taylor is the main reason why he's able to be effective because it's always on those short yardage, down the middle of the defense that Cox exploits the defense on. So I like Ali Cox. I'm a Kittle's owner, and him being on IR and him, being questionable as it is, Ali Cox fit in right where I need those 5 to 10 fantasy points a week. So, yeah, pick up Ali Cox to do you good.
Yeah, he's been, we mentioned it before, he looks awkward out there on the field, but, he's been a favorite target of Carson. Don't see why not. Carson's, like I said, it's been a resurgence for him. So, again, in a position that, you're looking for points each week. It's not a bad guy to go to. Dwelly from the 49ers, tight end, just in case for Kittle be out for a little while, might be somebody they target. Not sure, but just somebody to think about. If you're streaming defenses this week, Giants versus Carolina could be somebody to look at. Dolphins at home versus Atlanta as well could be somebody to stream. And I can't believe I'm going to kind of choke when I say this, but the Jets against the Patriots also could be a target to look out for as well. The Jets, again, good defense, this season so far, as we mentioned before. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to bring up the top performers of this week, and we'll talk about the games and do our breakdown of this week. Be right back.
Hey, Flanders here. Do you want to learn how to defend yourself, become more confident, and be more fit? If so, I recommend John Emmons Taekwondo in Kissimmee, Florida. At this dojang, you will learn an old art for a modern age under the tutelage of an 8th degree black belt master, John Emmons. If you want the martial arts to be part of your life and you value hard work with high quality results at reasonable prices, then John Emmons Taekwondo is the place for you. They can be found at emmonstaekwondo.com, and you can call them at 407-931-1118. John Emmons Taekwondo is our #1 pick for self-defense, and we are the fantasy show of the people.
What's up?
Hey,
Yes.
hey, can I just validate myself here for one moment?
Yes. What would you like to validate yourself on?
All right. So, according to a certain website, the New York Jets they're the 31st ranked defense allowed to running backs. They're the 25th in the red zone. They give up an average of 111 yards per game to running backs.
Great job, Nick. Great job. All right, let's move on because we got a long show, and to validate yourself, we don't have time for. But good job. I just gave you.
We always got time for that.
I get. You'd like to make time. I feel you. Listen, I'm going to say this real quick before we start. It pays to marry up. All right. The beautiful Mary Jane Cooper, who is a part of this show, has sent me some breaking news as we're talking here. Le'Veon Bell is just sent back to the practice squad. So definitely not somebody to pick up this week, but Devonta Freeman for sure need to look up for Tyson Williams as well.
What did he do now?
They've been doing that with Le'Veon the whole season. They can bring him back up before the game.
But I mean, come on, bro. What are they doing that for, though?
He looked good, but he looked good this week. He had a touchdown.
Right. But so why send him to the practice squad then?
For who? Who did they bring up?
Right. It doesn't say on here. Just said he was sent to CBS. It didn't. I mean, hey.
But they've been doing that with him the whole season. They'll put him down and then bring him back up. So
I don't know. I think to me that brings the value of Devonta Freeman up. I think twofold, and Tyson Williams as well. So just something to think about anyway. All right, let's look at our top performers of the week. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. My bad. Fred, come on, bro. I got to back it up a little bit because it's time for this week's breakdown.
Don't stop, get it. Don't stop, get it.
That's only 5 seconds.
I got to stop it for the listening crowd. That's all. That's it.
Family show.
It gets a little crazy after that.
My pastor's like, yo, I like your show, man, but why do y'all curse so much?
Well, that is a little much for 9 a.m. in the morning.
I mean, watching another show.
Hey, that's how you wake up. You got to wake up with.
Holy shit! What they say?
All right, let's talk about our top performers, and we can just talk about the games as we, talk about our top performers. Dak Prescott, is probably pretty much the game of the day, at least. I mean, the night game was good too, but what a great game this was with the Patriots and the Cowboys. He came out big, 33.25 points. Again, Dak being Dak so far this season, playing Playing Dak football, and CeeDee Lamb as of late, seeing Cooper drop down a little bit as number 2. And I mean, I think we already knew this was coming, that he was going to be the top guy anyway. So CeeDee Lamb, number 1. Mike, yes, sir. You got something for it? What's up?
I was doing that thing that CeeDee Lamb did, that goodbye wave at the end of that game. Tell me that was gangster, man. That was gangster. He did that little smile right by his helmet. He knew what he was doing. CeeDee Lamb's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, look, that offense is clicking. Zeke looks good.
Ain't Dak hurt
everybody looks good. Say again, I'm sorry.
Didn't Dak get hurt?
We talked about that earlier. He did get hurt, but came back in. It's just a strain in his calf, and in fact, they're on the bye week, so it's nothing of a big deal. He'll definitely – there's no playing time he'll miss. Thankfully, because of the bye week, I'm sure it kind of played a factor in that. Let's talk about Nick. I'm gonna bring in the next guy to you, Kirk Cousins. What a great game he had. I mean, you brought him up as the waiver wire target. So let's talk about him and his performance this week.
Yeah, 30. He scored 33 points. I believe he had 300 and some odd yards, and he just keeps doing his thing. He brought Thielen back to life this week. Everyone says about Carolina's defense, but they've been ever since that Dallas game. They've been pretty porous. So Cousins just does what he wants, and he's got 3 great weapons, and then he had that late touchdown pass to Osborne. So again, if you're in a pinch, and I don't know why he's not rostered, I think he's the number 8 quarterback in fantasy this week as far as points. Go get him, man. I mean, I don't know what you're waiting for unless you got, like a Tom Brady and a Jalen Hurts on the bench. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's number 2. That's why I have him up as number 2. Okay,
I meant overall this season.
Got you. The season.
And Nick, he's only owned in 45% of the leagues.
I just want to say, since you're on that game, I am not missing Sam Darnold right now. 17 of 41, not missing him.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I think McCaffrey being out's a big
McCaffrey.
That's a big hurt for them. I mean, let's be real about it. All right, let's bring up some other guys. Kyler Murray doing Kyler Murray things. 28. I mean, nothing to really talk about there. It's just Kyler Murray doing his stuff. Matt Stafford, 27 points. Good. Another great game for Matt Stafford. He's showing improving, as we've talked about already. Pat Mahomes, it's been interesting so far. Fred, I want you to talk about Pat Mahomes and his season after you take a swig of whatever else and whatever other weird sound you're going to make as we go along.
That was ice. Jesus.
Like every time we went to break, I'm like, all right, we're going to go a quick break. And all of a sudden you're
Mark Gator has returned.
Refreshing.
All right, so talk about Pat Mahomes this season. Again, he's been number 1 overall every time we talk about him, but he's not being Pat Mahomes though on the field.
He has to be more than Pat Mahomes. He said Freddie. So he said Jester, sir. So Pat Mahomes is being more than Pat Mahomes. This past game he threw 47 times. I mean, 32 of 47. That's a lot to put on one man's shoulders. And he also rushed the ball as well for 31 yards. This is the Patrick Mahomes show. He's going to be the top 3 quarterback, and whatever happens to the Chiefs falls all on him.
Greg, go ahead and chime in, sir. What you got?
He's not the second round pick a lot of people used him on. They could have waited longer for this type of production from Pat Mahomes. There's other quarterbacks out there that's performing better than Pat Mahomes. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jason Herbert. There's a lot of quarterbacks that are doing Pat Mahomes things that are not Pat Mahomes. A lot of owners jumped and got Pat Mahomes the second round, maybe even the third, where you could have waited later on and got the same kind of production from a different quarterback.
Do you think so?
I mean, we talked about that earlier, but
I'm just saying, Herbert had a 40-point game. Lamar had a 40-point game. Josh Allen had a 40-point game. We're still waiting on that Pat Mahomes type of game. Remember,
how many fantasy points does Pat Mahomes have this season?
He threw some bad interceptions, bro. He threw some bad interceptions. I'm kind of worried with that Kansas City offense. I'm just saying.
How many
a lot of owners jumped to get him that early. Just saying.
I just want to
how many fantasy points?
Wait, before you answer that, every week, Greg, Pat Mahomes is the number one fantasy quarterback.
Like, what is going on? What are we talking about?
Okay, hold on. Who's the number one quarterback in fantasy right now?
It's like I said, through week 1 through week 5.
This is 6 weeks in. He was one through
week 5. I don't know what happened through 6. I haven't seen all the stats yet because I was waiting for tonight. But when week 1 through week 5, it was Pat Mahomes.
You know who's the number one quarterback in fantasy right now?
I have him.
Lamar Jackson.
No, Tom Brady.
Okay, where's Pat Mahomes is the question.
2.
I mean, listen. To be fair,
that Mike's Hard Lemonade getting at him.
To be fair, everyone's got one tonight. Greg, welcome to the show.
Dumbass. Dang these. They call me dumbass. Play kind stupid.
I'm just saying. 36-point game.
I'm just saying.
27-point game. 25-point game. 34-point game. 23-point game, 26-point game. Not really,
but consistent. But consistency pays too. Also, when you can always rely on that, I'm good with it.
Real quick, where was Josh Allen drafted in the draft? Where was his average draft?
They always draft.
You know what I found funny? You know what I found funny?
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is
that Josh Allen deliberately talking about my fantasy quarterback. No way that I just went 5-0. I just got my first loss. I was 5-0. What are you telling these people, Greg? Why are you lying to these people?
Listen, guys.
Why are you lying, Greg?
he's
Honestly,
ahead of Lamar Jackson by 1 point. He's ahead of Kyler Murray by 1 point. So it's not that big of a difference. Like, all
right, I know the Mike's Lemonade got you argumentative, but we got 14 minutes left, and we got many more positions to go. So let's go to running backs. I'm sorry, Mike. I know I skipped you, so I'll make you first on this. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor. He is lighting it up this season. It's funny. Why? It's funny that Freddie is here pumping his fist in the. If you listen to TSS Fantasy, this guy blasted Jonathan Taylor all off season. We even brought an AFC South podcast on just because of all the hate that was coming.
You guys got to be fair. He only had 2 or 3 really great weeks.
Draft Taylor, and you drafted him. Just give me my props, bro.
Bro.
Give me my props.
I'm gonna give you some props because I didn't like nobody after him. But I'm gonna tell you something. He just picked it up the last 3 weeks. Them first 2 weeks were putrid.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You know, I drafted him in one of my leagues. Thank God I had Kyler Murray to back me up because he lit it up. So it kind of like helped each other out. So
right, that's the ebb and flow of the league and fantasies. That's what makes you a good team. When your one player's down, your other players pick them up. That makes you a good fantasy team. All right, Leonard Fournette was a big surprise this week. 24.7. Mike, Darrell Henderson at number 3, 22.7. What'd you think of that big performance for him? Is this what we're going to see all season from him?
I hope so, man. I mean, he was able to get those yards and make sure that he's keeping his lion's share from Sony Michel. He hasn't really been able to show anything that would be indicative of him slowing down. It's a productive offense. The team's going to have to respect the pass on any game, no matter whether it's on the road or at home. And they give him the ball in the red zone. I mean, they don't mind letting him go ahead and punch it through all the time. So I'm really pleased with Henderson. If you picked up Henderson, you probably picked him in the second round anyway, which is where I got him at, contrary to what Greg thought I took Mahomes at.
I didn't say you did. Why
anyway, so I am just saying,
it's so personal. So personal.
If you got Darrell Henderson in the early second round, he is where you drafted.
Good pick.
Yeah, nice. Derrick Henry just ripped off another 20-yard run, just to FY. Nick, that 187 you misspelled. Boy, it's getting worse and worse. All right, let's talk about number 4, Joe Glass Mixon, 21.3. I know I recommended him this week. He was definitely a good start going against putrid defense, and he was a full go, so a big play there. Hey, Darrell Williams. Greg, talk about him. Holler at 20.9. Wow.
I'm just saying when Kansas City, even when CEH is there, he's the goal line back, right? So now he's getting the opportunity again to show the skills that he has. He didn't have a crazy game, yards per carry, but when they got to the goal line, they gave him the rock, and he's a big, powerful running back. So, like I said last week, this season is handcuff season. Make sure you have your handcuff. Alex Collins, Darrell Williams, Tony Pollard, Chuba Hubbard. Make sure you got your handcuffs because it's a long season this year. 17 games. These are running backs. They take hits. They're going to miss games. Make sure you got your handcuff.
Yeah, and as the buys are coming, I mean, it's just even, teams that are stacked with running backs are still even panicking at this point. So a lot of stuff being hit this week. So definitely want to pay attention on the waiver wire. Dalvin Cook, number 6, doing Dalvin Cook things. Number 7, Kenyon Drake, super funny. Amongst the many leagues that we're involved in, I know I have him in one of them, and he's been in my lineup because it's one of those big rosters. And I finally, this weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm sick of him. He ain't doing nothing. I take him out of my lineup. And of course, he has a great game, 19.3. Najee Harris, 18.7. Khalil Herbert, we talked about him being the big role in Chicago. Fred, you want to talk about him right quick? 17.
Hey, man, we have a friend, and we said, yo, if you don't listen to anything TSS says, please listen to Start This Man, and he did it. We knew he was going to have a big game. We know Justin Fields needed a running back. Perfect start, perfect timing. Had a great week.
It's all about timing, for sure. Aaron Jones rounding out with 17, although I think we'll be knocked out because Derrick Henry is doing Derrick Henry things right now. All right, let's go to the receivers. Nick, I'll make you first on that. I missed you out on the other. CeeDee Lamb, we already talked about him. I mean, again, he's emerging as the number one guy, really looking good, and again, week after week. Nick, Cooper Kupp, let's talk about him. I mean, 25 points. It's just been nonstop so far this season. I know you're not familiar with certain offenses, so are you good with the Rams receiving pick?
Yeah, I'm pretty adept here. Cooper Kupp, man, he had 9 receptions for only 130 yards and only two scores. I mean, he didn't really contribute a whole hell of a lot. I mean, he should have earned his paycheck this week. I mean, come on, be serious. But his range is a 6.4 to a 27.8, and he's going to give you in standard leagues. His average is going to be 18 points. So again, he is your plug and play. Start him every week. It doesn't matter who they're playing. So again, that's who Matt Stafford looks for. 9 to 10 all day long.
Indeed. All right, so we're going to move on. Just real quickly go over the rest of the receivers. People Jones, talked about him a minute ago, 22.1. Jalen Waddle, we talked about him, 19.0. Adam Thielen had a good resurgence, 18.8. Hopkins, 17.5. Marvin Jones Jr., again, he showed up finally, 16. Mr. Ruggs, 15.7. I know certain people abandoned him early, but definitely should not have done that. Sutton at 15.4. And Antonio Brown, 15.3 points to round out the receivers. I wanted to get done with that real quick because this was something I did want to bring up this week. Something new that we want to bring up. We got Flanders flops for this week, so let's bring that up. All right, the Flanders flops of the week. Mr. Nick, let's talk about the guys you brought up this week that really underperformed.
All right, let's go with Justin Herbert. Man, he got you about 12. He got you 12 points this week. The Ravens defense, they really shut him down. He couldn't find a Big Mac at McDonald's. I mean, this guy just couldn't find a receiver. They bottled him up. I hate to say it, but he did not perform well at all.
Yeah, it was old school Ravens defense, which really shocked me. I wasn't expecting that, especially after his last performance. So yeah, it was
that the other day. You said that about the Ravens the other day. That it's not the Ravens of the old, and they played like it this week, bro.
They really did. That was a Freddie Ravens defense performance.
I miss those guys.
Who else you got on the flops?
On the flop, we had brought him up before. We got Antonio Gibson. All right. Does he get a pass because he's injured? I'm going to say no, because he's been playing on that stress fracture shin the whole season. Last week he had 80 yards and 2 scores against the Saints, and this game here was supposed to be a points blitz. You got the 2 worst defenses. You got high-powered offense with the Chiefs, and you figured that Washington was going to bring something, that they were going to put something together. But he only came out. He had 10 carries for 44 yards. He didn't do anything. The big star on that offense last week was J.D. Mckissick, who had 45 yards rushing and 65 yards receiving.
Damn, Antonio Gibson can't catch a break. Poor guy's got a freaking fracture in his shin. Nick puts him on his flops. Breaking news real quick. Derrick Henry, 3-yard touchdown, diving in, 187. On you, boy. All right, what did you got next?
Jeez. Oh, my God.
Yes. Why am I on this game?
Threw him off. You threw him off.
You did throw me off.
Nick, Fred, get the fly swatter ready, my friend. All right, who you got? We got a couple minutes here. Just real quick, wrap it up. Who you got on your flops?
I had it, and then I lost it. So
it's down here at the bottom. Amari Cooper.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Amari Cooper. That's why I had him on there. My fault. I'm sorry.
If there wasn't 2 minutes left, I'd hit the dumbass. All right, go ahead.
It's fine. No, Amari Cooper only got 5 catches with 55 yards and no scores. When Dak is throwing for 445 yards, come on. So CeeDee Lamb, that got the big bulk of it. We can go to tight end, Tyler Higbee. Stafford throws for 251 and four touchdowns. Where's Tyler Higbee? 5 catches for 36 yards. He's a big body. He's a big body in the middle. He should be a nice red zone target, and he just did not perform. And then, of course, you got the Denver Bronco. You got the Browns this week. They give up 37 points for that vaulted defense. They spent a ton of money out there. They brought in Clowney, and they gave up 37 points. And if you had them on your defense, they were a -8. Yeah, I know how many points they had because I have them, but they were on my bench.
Yeah, they didn't show up. That's for sure. It was surprising to me too. It was the Raiders though. I feel like David Carr was playing kind of lights out because of the John Gruden situation. Felt like he needed to step up for the team almost. So that's kind of what it looked like from here. So I think they just caught a bad break and bad timing.
I said the Browns.
Yeah, I know you did. That's why I just kept it moving. It's okay. I kept it moving.
Okay,
Mike, we keeping you up?
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna air this one.
I kept it moving. Everything's live now, Mike. We don't edit. Everything's live, bro. So it's all good. And real quick too, just to touch on it real quick before we go out. Amari Cooper. It's interesting that you brought him up, or we talked about him with CeeDee Lamb's emergence and the return of Michael Gallup. Might even spell less targets for Amari Cooper. Is it because he's dinged up a little bit? I don't know, but just something to think about going forward. All right.
You see the Titans left tackle got carted off in the stretcher just now?
I did. Yeah, I thought that was a while ago. I think you're behind a little bit.
You way behind.
Yeah, you way behind, bro. Anyway, all right.
What am I watching right now?
Now irrelevant fantasy news.
What the hell am I watching?
You way behind. You way behind. You're like an hour behind, bro. All right, listen. That's the way we end our 50th episode right there. That's a perfect way to end it. This TSS family, guys, we appreciate you. Appreciate all you've done with us. Stick with us. We'll keep it coming for you. We do appreciate you, and we are out.
Love ya. TSS Jester.